Hello, one and all. Welcome back to Campaign 14, Dubious Claims. I'm your host, as always, Varenity Void, and this here is part 10. Yes, part 10. I almost fumbled that because it's been a couple days since I recorded last, and I just came back from a little small event with family, so I wanted to get this recording done right away when I still have the energy and before the food coma sets in, because I had a lot of good food and I can feel myself getting a little bit sleepy, but I do want to proceed on because part 9 was very interesting and I have not had much time to record part 10 yet. But before we get to that point, we need to read some national ideas. If you want to know what happened in the previous parts, please go back and watch them. I encourage it. In the meantime, we're going to read some national ideas from the Siberians. Indeed, we're going to go ahead and read some ideas from Yugra. We're going to read the third and fourth national ideas of Yugra, where the third national idea is sacred groves. The Khanty do their sacrifices in sacred groves, which serve as ecological preserves where no animal can be hunted, all presided by the various kin groups in our society. Yearly prestige minus 1%, or yearly prestige decay minus 1%, yearly legitimacy plus 1. And the fourth national idea is World Surveyor Man. The home of the Ob Master was presumably near the stronghold Samarovo in the mouth of the river Irtysh. According to their heathen belief, he was the god of the fish, depicted in a most impudent manner. A board of wood, nose like a tin tube, eyes of glass, little horns on top of the head, covered with rags, attired in a gilt-breasted purple robe. Arms, bows, arrows, spears, armor, etc. were laid beside him. According to their heathen beliefs, they say about the collected arms that he often has to fight in the water and conquer other vassals. The frenzy ones thought that the atrocious monster is especially horrifying in the darkness and in the large waters, that he comes through all the depths where he watches over all fish and aquatic animals and gives everyone as much as he pleases. Production efficiency plus 10%. Alright. Now, without further ado, we're going to proceed on with this here part 10. I'm going to go into the 1670s and see what happens. I don't quite remember. I only remember the major points from part 9. One of them being, the Wendish realm was looking really strong. They took a lot of land off of Shuravia, and then a coalition war fired against them, and they lost the coalition war to Tennis Ball and Fontaine. And then Kraumna really struggled to uphold Pontus, as Pontus was getting partitioned between Astrakhan and Ardalan and Ionia. So that was very interesting indeed. As of right now, the current wars, Loibuk is going after Scottish China and Nivk and is succeeding. Astrakhan is going after Yugra and Sarayogir. Fontaine is going after Ragoetia and Koini. Keep in mind, Koini is pretty much locked into the Isles. They can't. They don't have any land on continental Europe other than maybe in Scandinavia. Japan is going after Scottish China as well. Lissenborg is going after Sicily for Merida. Malgana is going after Japanese Australia. MNT is going after Scottish China. Morocco is going after Arapaho because Arapaho took some land in West Africa. Needle and Kraumna are going after Kazan because Needle has land in Eastern Europe. Sumru and Sambas are going after Vijayanagara and the Timurid, which is why you see in the left-hand side of your screen Vijayanagara getting fully invaded, but also the Timurids are breaking into the Gangetic Plain. You have Teotl and their vassals going after Rasviet and the United States of Etruria. But as we saw in part 9, Etruria and Rasviet cannot hold a candle to Teotl at this point. Zazel is also going after Jenne and Arawak, trying to monopolize West Africa. Let's get it on then. Vijayanagara, they don't have many troops, and they're doing what they can to resist, but Sumeru at this point is just way too strong and way too powerful to stop. You know, it's... resistance is well and truly futile. The Timurids, they're doing what they can up here, breaking into the Gangetic Plain, but Sumeru's capital is at Delhi. Delhi is pretty far into the plains. And I don't think they took a single fortification. No, the Timurids have not taken a single fort. And now that Vijayanagara is fully occupied, Sumeru's coming back north. They will kick your ass and take your name if you don't stop, Timurids. That's just the long and short of it. I feel like the font mod changed. I just loaded this up. I don't think the font mod changed, but I could be wrong. Oh my god, it's starting to lag just a little bit from how many troops are going everywhere. You see, Needle is committing to their invasion of Kazan, and Kazan, they are trying their damnedest to resist, and putting up a fierce fight at various points. What is this a conquest of? Kashin. Kashin's right here, so it is very well possible that Kazan holds off against Needle, but it's going to be a very hard-fought war. They are winning. Maybe Needle overstretched themselves, but these victories are okay. You still got a huge stack up here, though, that succeeded in sieging down Sol Galitskaya. So, gonna need to do something else, Kazan, because Needle is coming through, and they're not playing around. Needle is not going to be playing around. And it should be noted that if Needle succeeds and takes over like a large part of Eastern Europe, stretching from the Arctic Sea all the way down toward like the border with Astrakhan, that's it. This is a huge base of power that Needle can rely on to fund whatever they need. If war breaks out in the Isles and it goes to shit, Needle can still put pressure on whoever is in mainland Europe from this base of operations. So, credit where credit is due. It's pretty smart thinking for them. What else do we got going on? Donau land still allied with Kraumna and the Wendish realm. Astrakhan still facing off against Yugra, and Yugra is trying with their ally of Saraygogir, but it's not going to be enough. Sumeru annexing another huge chunk of Vijayanagara, as you can see here. It's just a matter of time before Sumeru kind of consumes the entire subcontinent. The Timurids they are still at war with Needle. They should send troops to the north if they can, but it's not looking like they will. However, Needle might be a little overstretched here. Kazan still has over 100,000 troops, and they may not be as high quality. I mean, if you look at the stats here in your bottom left, discipline and morale and tactics all favor Needle, but logistically, I don't think it pans out for them. I really don't think it pans out for Needle. So, it was cool seeing that they're reaching so far into Kazan's land, but again, overstretching yourselves and not really focusing on securing the war goal. You need a little bit more than Kashin. Needle has the fort at Colonna. They probably need the fort at Muram in order to really secure the war. Maybe even Suzdal. But yeah, it's a push and it's a pull in both directions. Needle has the quality advantage, but Kazan has the homeland advantage. You know what I mean? They got homeland defenses, I guess you want to say. And Ionia is... Oh yeah, Ionia is in this. I just noticed that. So Ionia finally sends troops to the north, combining with Kazan, And I think this is actually going to be the end of Needle's efforts to really push into Kazan. Now that allies have finally arrived to reinforce the steppe nomads that have turned into a sultanate, the war is going to be pushed back against Needle, and these forts, like right here at Pestovo, are going to get taken over. The fort at Vitegra, that's been taken over. The fort at Sol Galitskaya, that's going to be retaken soon enough. All you have to do is wait a little bit. The fort at Kolomna, retaken. Needle, it's looking pretty bad, unfortunately. The Wendish realm has reawakened. They do not want to take that punitive war sitting down, so now they're going after Needle for up here, I believe, right? Yes, it is for Neva. And also, Book has joined in, but, Book is kind of irrelevant at this point. So it is really just the Wendish realm picking on Needle. And I think this land now in Eastern Europe is kind of forfeit. Well played to Kazan. Very, very well played. That was one hell of a showing. Putting up a valiant defense, holding out for allies, and actually succeeding in the defense. And that's not every day you see that happen. What do we have over here? Virui is actually going into the jungles of Central Africa. Okay. Epirot Guinea is getting invaded by Ormond. Yeah, straight up, this is the Epirot conquest of Gran Canaria. So, Epirus wants these lands in the Canaries. What else do we have going on? Man, there's so many wars going on. Sumru is has launched a full invasion of Lanna. Astrakhan going after Yugra. And then, let's go, we got Epirus. Yep. Oh, actually, Etruria's in that too, strangely enough. Japan going after Scottish China, and then Kaideria trying to take over those colonial nations, of course. Morocco going after Lissenborg, trying to fulfill that Andalusian dream. And then, yeah, we already know what else is going on. Oh, and Donauland is also backing up. What's it called? The Wendish realm. Oh, hold on. Oh, never mind. I thought there was going to be a succession war. My bad. Nah, Donauland, when Empress Else dies, it's just going to be a noble. Probably because their prestige is so high. I think that's the case. I know the chances for a personal union kind of depend on prestige, but I don't know the exact mechanics, so maybe I'm off point on that, maybe I'm not. Someone can correct me in the comments if you so please. And Scottish China, they are suffering, unfortunately. Loibuk has fully extended themselves into Manchuria and will contest for Manchuria as much as they can. M&T, for some reason, is up here in Manchuria as well. I don't really know why. Yeah, basically, this is all a mess right now. Hopefully it gets sorted soon. Maybe. And Loibuk, they're still building up their military as well. Sumeru and Loibuk are just two giants that are slowly building up their stacks. Slowly building everything else up and getting ready to go to war fully. Loibuk is going after Suo, and this is actually just like straight up Loibuk saying, no, I want all of your land directly. There's no compromising here. It's just, yeah, they want Suo, they want more Japanese land, no matter what. And I think, yeah, it's really just a matter of building up. Sumeru taking over the subcontinent, Loibuk taking over Manchuria and Japan slowly. But who's gonna win when push comes to shove between the two giants? That is the real question. Let's see here. Fontaine is actually expanding. They are taking over the land in West Africa held by Ormond. So, Fontaine is just going to take over, like, you know, the slave exports, the ivory exports, the tropical wood exports, all of that stuff. Ionia, what are you doing? Not doing much. Oh man, Kazan actually took land from Needle. They took a fair chunk. It's not super developed at all or anything, but you know, take what you can get. That's really nice. Ah, they took Tver, which is 20 development. That's solid, and a 20 development province at Beluzero. I'll clap for that. That's some good shit. Kazan and Astrakhan, you know, they may be enemies now, but these two are have done way better than I would have expected, and that is really cool to see. Bulgaria allied with Kramna and Shuravia. Donauland allied with Kramna and the Wendish Realm. Virui allied with the Papacy, Sicily, Tennis Ball, and Ionia. Tennis Ball allied with Epirus, Virui, Koini, and Fontaine. Mondstadt is allied with the Papal State, Fontaine, and Shuravia. Needle is okay. So Shuravia is now picking on Needle for Eastern European land, and Mondstadt has joined in. So this is a nice avenue for Shuravia to gain some footing after being given some land in that previous coalition war. Not a bad exchange, I would say. Not a bad exchange at all. Japan's at war with Scottish China, and Tennis Ball is going after Kramna. Oh no. Oh dear. Bulgaria, Paradox 1, Donauland, and Pontus are all backing up Kramna, but oh, this is going to be very, very rough. Because Kramna doesn't even have 50,000 troops on the ground. Kramna has, I think, like 1/10 as much as Tennis Ball and shrinking. And it's not going to get any better. No matter how many mercenaries you hire, it's not going to be good. And even Fontaine joined in. Oh dear God! This is a rest in peace Kramna moment. I cannot bear to witness, but I shall, because I'm the observer here. Yeah, Needle can't do it. Needle's military has been utterly dismantled. You look at that army size and that manpower pool, there's nothing left. There's quite literally nothing left in the tank. Because they tired themselves out against Kazan, the Wendish Realm came through, and now Shuravia is coming through. Brutal times here, brutal times indeed. Korea has moved their capital away from the Korean peninsula and over here to Maoming. So they're trying to eke out a living in the shadow of Loibuk. Time will tell if that actually pans out. It could, who knows, but it's probably best if you submit yourself as a tributary so you don't get so you don't get run over, really. That's kind of the long and short of it. Oh my god, my game is lagging a little bit because there's so many troops moving. Also, Epirus has some land in the Caucasus I totally forgot about, and Pontus definitely wants that land back. You know, here's the diplomatic map mode, just so you see what Kramna is against right now. That is the diplomatic map mode. It's not pretty. It may not seem like Fontaine and Tennis Ball are all that big here, but, you know, you see that, and then you see how many troops both Fontaine and Tennis Ball can put out, and then you realize just how much shit Kramna is in. Not just Kramna, but Bulgaria as well. Because Bulgaria... Oh, I know, is Bulgaria... Yes, Bulgaria is allied with Kramna. And, you know, this alliance pact is not going to withstand the might of the two preeminent Western European powers. That is just a fact. Donauland is trying what they can. 200,000 troops. That's great and all, but the enemy has over 600,000 troops. So, you know, yeah, shit is going to go down. Epirus pieced out early because their homeland was occupied. You know, Epirus's capital is still here at Arta. So when that is taken over, the war exhaustion is going to go through the roof. Yeah, Donau land fully they're getting the books thrown at them. I'm going to slow it down to speed 3. Oh man. And let's just take a look here at the Wendish realm is here. What? Why is the Wendish realm fighting Tennis Ball? What? Oh, it must be mercenaries. Okay. Because I'm not seeing, like, at war with Kramna, Bulgaria, Paradox 1, Donauland, and Pontus. So then the Wendish realm is not at war with anyone, so I'm assuming these are mercenaries. But yeah, in terms of stats, discipline is the same between Tennis Ball and Donauland. Morale favors Donauland. Tactics are the same. So, yeah, you can have all the morale you want. That's not going to make too much of a difference when Tennis Ball is fielding 450,000 troops to your 160,000. It's a dark day for Kramna and its allies. It is a bright day, though, for Shuravia, because they're going to get some nice land out of Needle. What other wars we got going on? Okay, things are quieting down a little bit. Kyderia is going after the United States of Etruria, probably because Kyderia wants the Caribbean, if I had to guess. Loibuk still going after Japan. Shuravia and Mondstadt still going after Needle. Sumeru still going after Japan for the Andamans. And yes, the big war in Europe. Interesting times we live in, I must say. Yeah, it's kind of brutal. It's a slow but brutal burn. And it's interesting that Donauland just they can't really fight this. Donauland has been doing really well so far, but their allies, as much as they try to prop up their allies, Donauland cannot prevent enemies from invading themselves or from invading their territory. Tennis Ball is just too powerful. Fontaine is just too powerful. And hitching your wagon to the wrong nation is going to get you invaded. It's just that simple. Tastes like blue Kool-Aid, but just a little bit less sweet. So yeah, 1662. They're Bulgaria and company. They're putting up a tough fight. Tennis Ball takes a loss there, but it is a small victory in the wider scope of things, because you see all these stacks up here coming through, and eventually they will trickle through. They will wear down your armies, and you do not have the manpower to sustain this war, unlike, the enemy does. And keep in mind, as these battles in Donauland are happening, and Fontaine and Tennis Ball are fighting it out in the midst of Donauland territory, Kramna's homeland is being besieged and taken over. No one is defending the heartland of Kramna. And that is going to be ratcheting up the war exhaustion more and more. So it's a stalling action here, really, but it's a stalling action that is going to just continue to result in a loss eventually. So, unfortunately, that's just how it is. Damn. Rough times indeed. Bulgaria and them, they're putting up their best fucking fight. I love that they are trying as hard as they can, because it shows heart. It shows dedication. But it's just, what do you do? What do you do when there's so much on the enemy and it just keeps pouring in? There's not much to do. And even if Bulgaria, they lost, obviously, as you can see. But even if Bulgaria and their friends won that battle, cool. You won. And you spent so many resources trying to win it, resources that you cannot replace. It's just, yeah, there you go. There's peace. That battle just kind of shows it all. Cromna losing a bunch of land to Fontaine and some crucial land to Tennis Ball. It's, 28, 26, 8 development. And then over here, they lost 12, 4, 7, 12, 4. It is a dark day for our friends in Cromna. And I think that maybe the alliance... Oh, no. Cromna had to dishonor that alliance with Pontus, if I'm seeing that correctly. Yes. Pontus called upon Cromna to join the war, but Cromna said, I can't join the war, I'm being fucked. And now Pontus is being fully invaded once more by the Friends of Ardalan. So there you go. It is a dark day for Pontus as well. The Eastern Orthodox are suffering at the hands of the heathens. And Loibuk, you need to use your ships to get over to the mainland and do stuff. You know that? I hope you know that. Well, actually, I think Loibuk is actually concerned with stuff down here. Considering they're trying to unsiege this, and then Sumuru is over here battling it out against Japan as well. So, interesting stuff. I'll check in at 1665, see where that's going. Oman is still allied with Pontus, surprisingly. Oman and Shuravia. Shuravia is in this war as well, so that means Shuravia is at war with Astrakhan and the allies. So, and Ionia's in this too. Shuravia, I think you just fucked yourself, actually. Answering that call to arms for Pontus, I think that signed your death warrant. Astrakhan has just as many troops as you. So that alone, that's an even battle between you and Astrakhan. But then you're adding Ionia on top of that? And not even just Ionia, Ardalan, and then the Timurids? Shuravia. You've done fucked up. You really fucked up. Chernigov is getting sieged down. Is that the capital? Yeah, that is the capital of Shuravia, so I don't know. It is about to get really dark in the lands of Shuravia. I don't know how much land they're going to lose. I suspect it's not a lot, but still, this is going to weaken their military so much that the Wendish realm is going to be rubbing their hands together, licking their lips like, oh, this is going to be a feast. Yeah, I don't blame them. This Shuravia hitched their wagon to the wrong nation, in my opinion. Morocco also, they took a lot of land from Lissenborg. They have completed their conquest of southern Iberia, more or less. So Morocco's in a pretty okay position under the Altadsi dynasty. Ormond has ceased to exist. Oh my goodness. Genuinely, I'm kind of shocked at that. I did not know that Ormond was in danger of being fully annexed like that. But, yeah. Fontaine in West Africa, Epirus in the Canaries, and then Kaideria is going after Fontaine, Etruria some more, and you can tell that they are being successful. Kaideria is using their navy to their fullest extent, whilst the United States of Etruria is distracted by Teotl destroying their infrastructure. You know, typical Teotl things. And the Rasviet, you know, they are being overwhelmed as well. So, you know, business as usual. At least for now, because we've seen what happened in Part 9 and how Teotl eventually grew to dominate North America. Interesting stuff. Epirus is colonizing the Comoros Islands, and Cromna is trying to escape to Madagascar. An interesting choice, if I do say so. But Fontaine is there too, so you're not exactly safe over there. For some reason, there is a detachment of Pontus that was invading Mogadishu. Odd. But, yeah, Pontus, a mere shell of their former selves. And, there's not really much to say about that. Pontus they didn't have the military to fight back. And, Shuravia, did you lose any land? You lost a little bit of land, but even just a little bit of land, giving Astrakhan any sort of inch into your land it's a death sentence, in my opinion. And like I said before, Shuravia's military, it's beaten and it's battered. The Wendish realm is right there with 425,000 troops ready to go. Better be ready. You better be prepared. MNT? Wait a minute. Loibuk is going after Kalgan, which is controlled by Ryshok. MNT and Nivk are pulled into this, but really this is just making sure that Loibuk controls more of Manchuria in due time. Korea, who are you fighting? The Japanese conquest of Cheongju. Japan being at war with Korea. Where have I seen this before? Lana allied with Kamai. Sumeru is allied with no one. There are no allies. There are no allies for Sumeru. Interesting. I guess no one wants to be friends with them. I don't know why. Saka has changed their syncretic religion, and now Sunni is the religion they want as their secondary. Malgana continuing their eventual, not consumption, but subsumation. Is that even a word? I don't think it is. But they are continuing to colonize the Australian outback. Just so you know, that's the kind of province spread we're looking at in Australia. So, it's a long ways to go, but they're doing it. They're chilling. No issues. I actually kind of like how slow the colonization is going right now. In terms of the old world, since it may be messy, but it's like, okay, so everyone is still using their colonist eventually. No one is just using it to develop their own lands, and once the colonist is in the province, you cannot build any buildings there. So, buildings can still be built across the empires of old as we speak. Also, Rasviet, they lost their capital to Teotl. The United States of Etruria, they have not lost their capital yet, but, you know, it could happen sometime soon. Kaideria and Teotl are closing in. And Teotl... Man, Kato is still rebellious? Really? Surprise. Kolima is not rebellious, so Kolima could get annexed. Potawatomi is rebellious, though, so they are not going to do much of anything right now. And the colonial nation of Epirus is not doing much of anything either. Arapaho has been exiled to Greenland, so they will now be forever spectators, I think. Also, I just noticed, Tennis Ball got a foothold in the Isles. I guess there was a quick war or something against Needle, because Needle lost a bunch of land. Interesting times indeed. Kraumna at war once more. This time, the Khazni conquest of Pestovo. It's really just Kraumna trying to help out their ally, but there's no helping this. There is no more helping Needle. Needle is dead in the water for the most part. And yeah, Kraumna, they're just trying to do something, but it's not much. Ionia is in this war too, because Ionia is allied to Kazan, but I don't think Kraumna and Ionia can really reach each other. So the capital of Kraumna is safe, the capital of Ionia is safe. But safe to say, Ionia is in a much more dominant position compared to Kraumna. Japan also in fucking Chabahar for some reason, because it's a center of trade, you know, or as a trading post, I guess. That's It's a little awkward, but I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to embrace it. Zazao, what are you doing over here? You're not doing anything, but I think you just conquered some land off of Epirus. I'm not entirely sure, but Zazao's getting big, and Zazao is getting strong. Semyon and Mogadishu kind of at a stalemate. Yeah. They have about similar levels of military potential. It's just that, you know, they're allied with different powers. Sofala looking nice and large. Fontaine still going over into East Africa. Paradox 1 is over here as well. Not entirely sure why. And, yeah. Loibuk, how much land did you take? It's not a lot of land, but it's a little bit. And Nifk is a rebellious tributary now for a little bit. It's just, all of these wars are just slowly but surely cementing the influence of Loibuk in the northeast. Louis de Gar is almost dead. Well, they're a vassal now, but, you know. Shadow of their former selves. And then Raishak over here is a tributary of MNT. Interesting stuff. Malacca allied with Avenkia, and then Malacca is a tributary of Sambas. Sambas, they still lost their capital province, but Sambas is still kind of powerful. They have 80 ships, so that navy is by no means a joke. That military might be more of a joke, though. What other wars do we got? The Fadl Jihad against Sambas. Japan's going after Chukchi. Kazan still going after Needle. And then Malgana going after Japanese Australia. Sicily going after Jene. And Sumeru going after Malacca. Because Sumeru snaking down here into Southeast Asia. You know, you see where that highlighter is going? That highlighter is drawn all across the map. Ah, man. And then, what else do we got? Sicilian Crusade against Jene, but it can't... Is Sicily really gonna come down here and invade? Are they? Something tells me that it's not gonna happen, but who knows? I could be wrong. Kind of surprised that Kraumna's actually trying to invade Ionia. Holy shit. Maybe I was wrong about you, Kraumna. Maybe you still got some bite left. I mean, it's not a big bite, but it's something. Better than nothing. But yeah, Ionia and Fadl, they still control most of the Egyptian region. Kraumna's probably going to lose the rest of their land here. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. All depends on the peace deal, but that's up to Kazan. Kazan is the war leader. Kazan will decide on the land distribution. Ardalan, Sambas. For some reason, Oman has land in Kashan. Okay. Interesting. I don't know why Epirus also has land in Scandinavia here. That's just like, that's just the randomest fucking thing to me, but I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to go along with it. Sarayogir allied with Alenkia and Yugra. And then Loibuk Crusade against Sambas. I think you'll win that, Loibuk. Just, you know, transport enough troops over, and you'll get it done. I think we'll probably go until about August of 1674, something like that, something similar. Fontaine. Oh, wait a minute. Fontaine, conquest of Jain. Oh, against Sicily, the Papal State, and Virui. Oh, Virui, it's not looking well. I do think you are cooked. Sauteed, even. Because, yeah, you're at war with Fontaine, Epirus, Mondstadt, and Tennis Ball. There's going to be a lot of people who do not mind taking a slice out of you. So, yeah, rest in peace, Virui. And, you know, those dice roll malices also add up as well. Because, you know, that, that fucking sucks. Oh, I need to stretch. Oh, okay, there we go. Much better. Kazan, they took quite a bit of land. 4 provinces, and one of them being a 31 development Pestovo. That's really fucking good. So, yeah, just chilling. Kraumna did not lose their land. I was wrong about that, but Kraumna still, their military in comparative shambles. And just like Virui, in comparative shambles. So, unfortunate times for them. It's also only a matter of time before Pontus, you know, bites the dust. It's not. Pontus is not long for this world, more or less. Sumeru, what are you going after? Oh, it's also okay. Yeah, eventually Sumeru is just gonna take this over. Malacca can't really do anything unless Malacca was allied with Loibuk, but Loibuk doesn't feel like extending the hand yet. Extending a friendly hand. Papacy is fighting against Fontaine, which, you know, that's presumably a losing battle. No one's really going to stand up to the powerhouse that is Fontaine and Tennis Ball. Unless those two turn on each other, it's kind of like an unstoppable duo at this point. But as we near the end of this part here, it's going to be dark days for Virui. 1 more month up until August. And there we go. Okay. So I just want to take a look real quick. Teotl. Colima actually still has a lot of cores on Teotl. Interesting enough. But yeah, that is how much land Teotl has in North America. And they're also allied with Kaideria. Kaideria, the main hegemon of South America as well. Guarani has been eliminated, and Lissenborg has their colonial nation over here, but it's not going to last long. Kaideria can easily take that over in due time. So, yeah, just give it a little bit. Give it a little bit of time. But that is going to be it for now. I don't really think there's anything else. No new institutions did spawn in. So, yeah. Leaderboard it is. So, in first place is Sumeru. In second place is Teotl. In third place is Tennis Ball. In fourth place is Fontaine. In fifth place is the Wendish Realm. In sixth place is Kaideria. In seventh place is Loibuk. And in eighth place is Astrakhan. That'll be all for now. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next part.